we have received a bold and exciting vision. A vision that is grounded in the Great Commandment and the Great Commission. A vision that will position us to respond to the critical needs and the changing realities of our congregation, our nation, and our world. Our leadership teams have deliberated over our vision paper, and based on that vision, we have prayerfully crafted a draft 5-year plan that will propel us on the journey to being the Webster Memorial United Church, a family of Christ disciples making disciples. This 5-year plan will provide direction and it will guide our actions. The plan is organized around 5 key growth pillars. We will grow stronger through worship. We will grow broader through ministry. We will grow larger through evangelism. We will grow warmer through fellowship. And we will grow deeper through discipleship. As we seek to grow stronger through worship, we will embark on the following new initiatives in 2019. We will develop a training manual complete with how-to videos for the hospitality team. We will develop training manuals for worship planners, for worship leaders, and for worship producers. We will introduce a 1-year mentorship program for all new worship planners. We will invite youth and seniors to assist with the worship planning process. This will help ensure that all our worship experiences are more intergenerational. We will introduce Saturday evening services that will specifically target shift workers and persons who live and work in the surrounding communities. And we will offer CDs of our sermons for sale. In 2020, we will lay the groundwork for a steel pan orchestra, which will be launched in 2021. In 2020 also, we will lay the groundwork for establishing a designated welcome area so that we can properly host and get to know all our visitors. Under growing stronger through worship, our ongoing initiatives in 2019 include maintaining a pool of worship planners, worship leaders, and worship producers, and time with the children facilitators. We will ensure comfortable, safe, and welcoming spaces for all worship services and other activities. We'll facilitate the use of dance, speech, and drama as ministry tools in worship, and we will host a dance concert. Let us move now to our growth area, growing broader through ministry. As we seek to grow broader through ministry, we will undertake the following new initiatives in 2019. We will partner with the UCJCI Church's Education Committee to provide mentorship services to UCJCI schools. We will establish a governing board for the Eden Garden Center. We will expand the reach of the Education Fund to include Webster members as beneficiaries. And we will introduce 2 new small groups. These groups will provide care and support to singles and to persons affected by cancer. In 2020, we will expand the services offered by the Eden Garden Center to include legal services. In 2021, medical services will be reintroduced and optical services in 2023. Ongoing initiatives in the area of growing broader through ministry include providing low-cost dental and counseling services, distributing hot meals, food packages, and financial support to the needy, working with the inmates of the Fort Augusta prison, providing educational support to the Pringle Home for Children, the Mount Olivet Boys Home, and the Kencott and Menaltre communities. And finally, in this area of growing broader through ministry, our youth will continue working on their project to renovate the dorms of the Pringle Children's Home. Let us now look at our work in the area of growing larger through evangelism. New initiatives in 2019 will include 1 overseas and 1 local mission trip. Our youth will target and intentionally evangelize non-church members of our brigades and youth fellowship. We will formalize the support we provide to other UCJCI congregations while increasing the impact of our support by working through short-term project teams. And we will initiate the planting of a new UCJCI congregation by 2023. In this area of evangelism, Ongoing initiatives will include workshops for children, youth, and adults using the evangelism explosion method, annual crusades, which we now dub Prayer and Praise in the Yard, evangelistic street and community meetings, and the annual men's gathering. And finally, as we seek to grow larger through evangelism, we will continue with the 6I evangelism plan, where we will identify, interest, intercede, invite, integrate, and invest in this important area of ministry. Let us now look at our new initiatives under the heading Growing Warmer Through Fellowship. We will introduce an annual cookout competition, develop a Webster business directory. Our youth will host a public forum on men in society. We will launch a more deliberate focus on relationship building across the congregation by 1. Initiating an annual sermon series on healthy relationships. This will be reinforced by a district Bible study series. 2. We will foster healthy competition and cooperation across the congregation by twinning and color-coding districts and other small groups in branded shirts for competitions and activities. 3. We will facilitate a culture of commendation and gift-giving. 4. We will introduce a birthday club. And 5. We will facilitate quarterly interactions between our youth and the Board of Elders. As we continue to grow warmer through fellowship, ongoing initiatives include our regular Family Fun Day and all our other Family Week activities, a business showcase, plus all the regular activities of the Women's Fellowship, the Men of Purpose, the Marriage Enrichment Group, and the Young Adults. Let us now turn to our plans to grow deeper through discipleship. New initiatives for 2019 include transforming the Discipleship Institute to a fully funded institute with dedicated resources. Phase 1 in 2019 will include retaining the services of a part-time administrative assistant in the latter half of the year, offering at least one paid course during the year, and engaging additional facilitators. Phase 2 will run from 2020 to 2023 and will include all training programs of the church being executed via the Institute and converting the bookstall to a bookstore under the Institute. Over the 5 years, we will introduce a comprehensive leadership and a succession planning program for leaders at all levels across the congregation. We will start in 2019 with a program for ministry and sub-ministry leaders. Starting in 2019 also and continuing into 2020, we will facilitate more effective assimilation of our new members by restructuring the new member classes and converting it to a 4-phased process. We will organize quarterly sessions of corporate fasting and prayer. We will include the children in corporate prayer and fasting activities by encouraging them to join us in prayer and to abstain from selected pleasures like sweets and screens. After periods of fasting and prayer, we will facilitate public testimonies to share what the Lord has done for us. Friends, this year we received 12 children into membership, and an additional 12 made public commitments on Discipleship Day. This is a fantastic trend. And in 2019, we will be providing support and guidance to the parents of these children. In 2020, we will introduce 4 small group Bible studies based on areas of interest. We will digitize the visitor contact process, and we will develop an online strategy for Bible study with at least 2 corporate Bible studies being delivered online for that year. As we continue to grow deeper through discipleship, ongoing initiatives include our regular First Fruit prayer and fasting, our Good Friday fast, our all-night prayer meeting, and our midweek prayer meeting and Bible study. To ensure robust growth in all areas, we will engage in a series of enabling activities, including the following in 2019. Starting in the first quarter of 2019, we will implement the agreed recommendations of the teams that reviewed the church office and ministries. We will develop a Webster app that will provide a Webster ecosystem. This will include sermon clips, Bible study notes, Webster News, and an online directory of business services available within our congregation. We will lay the groundwork for developing a business entity that will generate funds for the ministry. The project team will be identified in the first quarter of 2019, and they will develop the required plans. We will also identify a project team to lay the groundwork and develop plans to establish a multifunctional facility, to air condition the hall and the sanctuary, and to start the process of acquiring a bus. We will relocate the basic school bathroom and install an electronic entrance lock between the last quarter of 2019 and 2020. We will implement a plan to harvest rainwater from the resource center, the basic school, and the sanctuary. This work will be phased between the last quarter of 2019 and the first quarter of 2020. In 2020, we will equip the Rolf Grant home with solar panels. Webster writes, "We have work to do, and we need all hands on deck. We need teams of Christians working for the cause of Christ. There is space for each of us to work with wholehearted commitment. This is a clarion call to every member, to every adherent. What are your gifts? What are your talents? Will you commit today to use them for the building up of the kingdom of Christ? We need to reach people for Christ. We need to integrate them into the family of Christ. We need to facilitate their worship of Christ. We need to nurture their faith in Christ. We need to make them into ministers of Christ. What do you have in your hand? He can use it.